Okay, today I'm going to be changing brake pads on a 99 Honda CRV, and the first thing you want to do is jack up the car, and the best place to do it from what I found is right here on this. There's like a jack point on this kind of below the bumper, and jack it up and put jack stands underneath these tow hooks on each side. That's in case it's a little safety in case it falls, because there's really no good place in front to jack up the car, at least to get the whole car up. So okay, so then you need to take off the tire, of course, and I think that's 18 mil on the lug nuts, and use an impact wrench if you have it. If not, you're gonna have to do it on the ground and break them first with a breaker bar or lug nut wrench or something. And first thing you need to do, and I'm going to take off these rotors because I'm going to get them resurfaced. This rotor is not too bad, but the other side's kind of scarred. So I'm just going to get them both resurfaced. So what they have on Hondas, which one thing I don't like about Hondas, they put these stupid little Phillips screws on them to keep the rotors on, and there's two of them. So the first thing you need to do is spray them with some penetrating oil. Soak them pretty good. Let that sit a little bit, and then let them sit, and give it a pound with the hammer to kind of break it, the rust or whatever it's holding it on. So while that's working, and then you're going to need to take off this caliper, and I kind of loosened it already. These are 14, so I got to take that off. And I'm going to hang it over here on this tie rod, and you don't want to hang it from the brake hose because you don't want to stress it. Okay, I got the caliper bolts off, one up here and one down here. And you just kind of move it out of the way, take it off. Then you put it over here, kind of move it in a way that's not too bad. There you go, that's not too bad. And next, you need to take off this caliper bracket. And let's see if I could show you back here. There's one right here. I think that is, what size is that? That's a 17. Where are we? There's one right down here, and then there's one up here, and that's 17. And you'll probably need first to break it with a breaker bar, break them loose, because sometimes they're really tight on there. So I'm going to do that and show the next step. Okay, I got the caliper brackets loose. And you take off the pads. Go ahead and take them off now. They pretty much just come out pretty easy, at least on this one. And this is the pad. There's a little meat on them, but not much. And that's the wear indicator right there, so not much before that starts squeaking. And the pads with the wear indicator goes on the inside towards the caliper piston. So let's take those out. Sorry for the wind noise, it's kind of windy. And I just have one last bolt holding this up. Take that out, and pretty much this just comes out like that. And next, since I'm taking these rotors off, if you're going to replace them or getting them resurfaced, depending on how bad they are, if you just want to replace them and put some new ones on there and not deal with that, that's a good idea too. But I'm going to get these resurfaced. They've never been turned before, so should be no problem. These are, I think, Honda OEM ones, so they're good quality. So now these could be a real pain in the butt, so what you're going to need is an impact screwdriver, and you need to put it on, get the right bit on there, put it on, and make sure this is in the loosening direction, and you could put it on there, whack it with a big hammer or kind of like a little mini sledgehammer like that. Give it a whack, and hopefully if you got good luck, you could get that screw off, because those screws can really get stuck on there, and you want to be careful not to strip those, because otherwise it's not good. You're not going to have a good day. So that's why I spray that. In fact, I might spray a little more of this stuff on there and give it in. Now let me use a smaller hammer. Give it another little whack, like that, and let that soak in for a minute or two, and then just kind of wipe that oil off the thread, so you don't try to minimize the slipping with your screwdriver. So I'm going to show that off camera because I need both my hands to use that impact wrench or impact screwdriver. Okay, I got those two screws off with the impact screwdriver. Basically, you put it on and you give it a nice whack with the screwdriver until you keep going until you see it move, until it comes off, and then you can take off the rest with the big Phillips screwdriver. Make one thing about screws, gonna make sure you have the right size screwdriver, otherwise just because you don't want to strip it. So take that off, and I could imagine if you live where a lot of snow and they put a lot of salt on the road, you're gonna get a lot of rust. It pretty much would be even a lot of trouble. I had enough trouble with this impact screwdriver getting this off because it was really tight and maybe a little rusted on. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't still a pain in the butt. So basically, once you do that, you can take that off, and pretty much there's your rotor. I'm gonna take it to the shop to get them resurfaced, and I'll show the next step. You could either, if they're okay, this one's not that bad honestly, but I'm still gonna get it resurfaced. But if they're pretty smooth, you might not need to get them resurfaced, but most of the time you do. Okay, I just got the rotors back from the shop, got them machined, so they're nice and smooth now. So there's just grease and oil on them, so you just gotta spray them down with some brake cleaner. So you gotta spray them down, and you don't want to breathe this stuff in because it's really hardcore. It'll make you dizzy, kill some brain cells. So try not to breathe this stuff in too much. And it cleans pretty good. And you don't have to wipe it. It dries pretty fast. And get the other side and the other rotor, of course, and I'll show the next step. Okay, got the rotors on, and when you put it on, it's gonna make sure that this hole lines up with the hole on the hub here for the screw, and that one too. So that's the only thing you have to do when you put this back on. And for these screws, so they don't get stuck so much, I'm gonna put a little anti-seize on the threads and at the bottom of the head there. So when you put them back on, they won't get stuck for the next time. And also, when you get your screws off and the rotor is still stuck on the hub here, there's two more holes here, one here, and you get a bolt. I think it's like a 8 mil by something, find a bolt that fits in there, and basically what you do is you tighten the two bolts in, and basically it pulls it off. It pulls it off the hub. So if you need to get it free, so if that's if it's stuck. So I'm going to put on the screws, and then I'm going to put on this caliper bracket. Basically just put it on the same way it came. And also there's these caliper pins. They got these boots on them. They come out. It's kind of hard to do this one-handed, but they come out. There's some grease in there, and these look a little dry. So I have some. Use these special type of grease. It's like a silicone base grease. So you can buy this stuff, Ultra Disc Caliper Lube silicone. So you just take it out and just brush on the grease on there. Let's see, and then you stick it back on until that boot seats back on. And same thing on this one. So there's two of them per wheel. Okay, the next step is to this is the brake caliper. The next step is to get a C-clamp and put it, get it in there, put it inside the piston, and have that clamp go inside the piston in the center of it. And you're gonna compress this piston right here and squeeze it down till it stops, because the new pads have new meat on them. So this is so you could fit the caliper over the new pads. And as you're doing that, to make sure that your brake master cylinder does not overfill, because you're pushing the fluid back in here. And some people say that this is not the best way to do it, but I've been doing this every brake job and I never had a problem. The fluid goes back anyway when you let go of the brake. So basically, you just compress this down and put the new brake pads on. And slide the caliper over the brake pads. Bolt the caliper on, 2 bolts, and that's basically it for this side. And I'm using these Wagner thermo quiets. They're kind of economy. I prefer Akebono. Those are the best, but I've never used these. But these are, good in price. So they're ceramic. So on foreign cars like this, you need ceramic, and they're quieter. They make less dust. And this is the brake, or that's the part number right there. And when you install, I'll show the next step. I'll show the next step when I have these on. Okay, I just got done squeezing the caliper, and I thought I was keeping an eye on it, but some fluid did come out and drip down on the floor. So the best way to do is get a turkey baster and suck some fluid out, like that. Like that. And you don't want to get this in the paint because it'll eat the paint. Not right away, but you got to clean this fluid off. You want to avoid getting it on the car paint. So you just do that and keep an eye on it and take out more if you need to. And I'll show the next step. Okay, I just slid the pads in, and they only go in one way, so pretty easy. Just put them in like that. Slide it in there, and the back pad is the one that has. Sorry for the wind noise. The back pad is the one that has the wear indicator on it. So make sure that. I found it with the wear indicator on top, so make sure you have it on the top one. Just put it in like that. I had to swap it out with another one because these pads have a curve that go with the rotor, so I had to swap it with the other one in the box. It's because the other one wouldn't fit that way. And so, and then you get your caliper. I'll do this with one hand. See if I could. And slide it. You know what? Let's see. Twisted. Okay. And you just slide it in, put the bolts on. I'll show the rest because I can't really do it with one hand. Okay, I just got the caliper on, and basically you just line up the two bolts on the back, and with the caliper, those caliper pins you greased earlier, just kind of line it into that hole and screw it down, try to get it lined up, leave that one loose, and then try to get that one in. Then you snug them down, get them pretty tight. I just get them pretty tight with the breaker bar, and get them, you know, tight. You don't want to get them so tight that you break the bolt off. But so that's that. And these pads don't need a backing plate because supposedly they have one built in. So we'll see how that works. And basically the other side is the same thing. And basically you just after you get the pads back on, and just put the wheel back on, hand tight the nuts up, the lug nuts, and lower the car back down. And I use a half-inch torque wrench to torque the lug nuts. I do 100 pounds. If you do a crisscross pattern, and this one has a broken stud. This one only has 4, so let's do that. And that's basically it for this changing your brake pads on a Honda CR-V. And if you like this video, please thumbs up, and if you don't like it, I don't want to hear about it because it makes me it brings a tear to my eye. I'm just joking, but if you have any questions, comments, feel free to ask in the comments section. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.